Okay, guys, this is one of the things that I've been working on quite a bit in the last few weeks, and I'm actually quite happy with where I'm at right now. Although I'm posting this video to get some ideas on how this might be improved. If you have some ideas on how to maybe improve the user interface or the style, etc., let me know. What I have done here is, for example, on Sundays when I'm going in and doing we're doing a new song, I'll have a new track. And so I'll go in and I follow, for the most part, and I might be corrected on this later for some minor inconsistencies, but for the most part, I follow Ian McIntosh's idea about his live set setup. And what I do is I create a little text file that says what the song is, and then where does every section of the song begin. So section of the song that's the verse one, the first beat of verse one happens to be in this song, I believe, 10 bars in. Chorus is the first, is 25 bars in and 37 bars in for the verse two, etc., etc., etc. So I put that in a little notepad document because it's very handy to keep, and so I keep it on the side. And then what I'll do is, as we go in, obviously when you bring in your stems, so I bought these stems, put them all in here, and so you're going to want to make sure that you highlight everything, and that you warp it. Everything needs to be warped according to the appropriate beats per minute, etc., etc., etc. Let me unwarp this for a second. This song happens to be 86 beats per minute, so 86 beats per minute, and it's in 6/8 time. And so then you can go through here and warp everything so that it all shows up in the appropriate grids. What you can do then is really interesting, and if you don't own Ian McIntosh's Synth University courses, do yourself a favor, go out right now and buy the whole thing. It is the best investment you're going to make in your music career, especially if you play keys and synths and want to learn anything about how that side of sound design works. It's phenomenal and really, really worth all of the investment of time and money that you would ever possibly want it to spend on it. It's very worthwhile. I'm not paid to say that. It's just something that's helped me tremendously. One of the things I can say, though, is in his course, and if you want to know exactly how he does it, go buy the course. But one of the things that he does is for his live sets, he recommends taking a track set like this. If he's using stems for that thing, he'll duplicate the scene with all the tracks in it, and then because this doesn't carry extra headroom as far as processing in Ableton, there's not an extra amount of overhead for processing the same clip. We just duplicated that scene, so I just duplicated it. I just Command D, duplicated it. Then I'm going to change it to say this is verse 1, but now if I play this, obviously it's going to play from the beginning. So what we're going to do is go to the click track, and what I would do is I'd say, hey, verse 1 starts on bar 10, and guide starts on bar 10. It's set all the way down the line. Problem that I've run into with this is that, quite honestly, I lose track of time, because you can lose track of some of these clips, because as you can imagine, it gets pretty daunting once you start adding in. Now we've got, a few more clips than we did before. Let's see here. As soon as we get to going on this, I made it course 3 instead of course 2. Let's say that's course. Now it's 32. Well, goodness, we've jumped way ahead. Chorus 2, and then what do we have here? We've got bridge. Is that right? I'm gonna duplicate it, and we got. You can see pretty quickly it becomes a lot of tracks to keep up with, and now I'm having to go in and every one of these I'm having to hit it. So what happened is I decided to come up with a solution that'll fix this for me, because I was missing. I would go through and I would get the click and the guide, and then I would skip keys 1 for some reason, just not see it, and then go through and then make everything else 10. And then when I started playing verse 1, all of these clips would begin at the verse except for like 1. This one would be off. So I decided to come up with a solution. So I created a little Max for Live device, and if you put this on your master channel, by the way, it's called Also, which is, I think, moderately clever. I don't know how clever it is, but it's moderately clever, where it says it's the automated loop start organizer. That's my way of saying I'm going to help myself out. So if I say verse 1 now, I can say the verse 1, everything on verse 1 begins with the loop start position of bars is 10 and everything else is 1, 1. If I say update the loop start now, you can look in here and say that every one of these, keys 1, keys 2, keys 3, every single thing in this whole row was updated with that loop start position of 10 bars in. If I wanted to, I could keep going and say the verse 2, or the chorus would now start at 25, update that loop start position, keep going down, verse 2 is 37, etc., etc. You get the idea. But that actually saves me a ton of time. See, now they're all 25 across, and these are all 37 across, which is kind of cool. And then of course you can go in and tidy some stuff up. Like I like to make all the choruses a different color so that they're easier to see whenever they're running and so forth. But nonetheless, you can do all that stuff. Essentially, that's the plan that I have, and I think this little device does what it's supposed to do. Now, here's the thing. I'm asking for you guys. Can you tell me what you think might be better as far as the way to organize this automated loop start organizer interface? What would you like to see? What would be better than what I've got here? I'm definitely open to some suggestions. Hit me up, let me know. Thank you very much, and I hope we get to talk soon. Bye.